going on, everybody? It's your pal Spaz Phoenix, and this is FLIX, and we're not reviewing anything today. We are doing a trailer reaction. It's not much to go on, because it's just a teaser, but yeah, Godzilla, King Kong, the Monsterverse, they are back once again, because we got the, I guess, teaser trailer slash title reveal from Legendary for the new Godzilla versus, sorry, it's not even versus. This is the first thing I gotta talk about because I gotta get into the minutia. It's Godzilla X Kong, the new empire. So is the X like Godzilla and Kong, Godzilla with Kong, Godzilla versus Kong, etc., etc. When they put X's in trailers and you don't know what the X is supposed to mean, then I don't know what to go with. But there's everything and nothing in this trailer. Now, look in the comment section below. I've made sure to put this teaser trailer from the Legendary YouTube channel, the ones that make the movies, obviously, go directly to the source if you can. There's a bunch of other stuff in the comment or sorry, in the description as well, but we'll get to that in a second. There's everything and nothing to this, and because there's no talking or anything like that, I'm actually gonna do something a little bit different. It's 30 seconds long, and I'm just gonna tell you what I see when I click play. I'm not gonna do the sound because I don't know what YouTube's gonna do with that copyright-wise, but the thing starts, and you've got a monkey, and the monkey's just sitting on a throne. We pan away from the monkey. Everything's all desolate. It's all, you know, it looks like the elephant graveyard from The Lion King. And we pan out, and we pan out, we pan out. We see the monkey looking down across all the bones, and then we see the skulls of King Kong and Godzilla, presumably. Well, a monkey-looking head and a Godzilla-looking head. I'll get to that in a second. Then we quickly cut to the reveal of the name of the movie, and it's Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. And then for some little, I don't know what you want to say, dramatic effect, we have a really close-up on this monkey and his eyes, and he's ruffling his nostrils at us and looking very intimidating. Only in theaters 2024. So we got a little bit while to wait for this. I'm super excited. You guys know this about me by now. Fucked up movies are my jam. Give me monsters smashing into each other. I'm a wrestling fan. Give me monsters smashing into each other. Now, there's not much. There's no, obviously there's no human characters in it because it's 30 seconds of a boneyard and one monkey sitting on a throne. So it's open to speculation at this point. The desolate look of it immediately makes me think that either this is a flashback to when all the Titans ruled over the Earth and, you know, one ruled all, and this is what happened to the last King Kong species and the last Godzilla species. This is the one that took them all out. Or it's a flash forward to where all the humans are dead and you know, it's only the Titans left to fight, which is always kind of what you want in these movies and never quite get. Now, the third option, obviously, after Godzilla vs. Kong, they introduced us to the world of the Hollow Earth, which makes no sense because it's at the center of the world and there's still sunlight. So that was kind of an odd thing. So there's always the chance that when Godzilla and Kong, you know, Kong went down there, Godzilla, I'm sure, will go down there at some point. And there's always the chance that this is current day, and it's just, this is this other thing that they woke up because, you know, you guys are kind of hanging out in my backyard. One of the things that was put out to us in Godzilla vs. Kong is Godzilla comes when he feels threatened, which is why they kept King Kong away, which is why Mechagodzilla got Godzilla's attention. So if it's a matter of they took Kong down there to be the new preserve, because obviously Skull Island didn't work out very well. They had that weird little dome thing until he put a tree through it. So if his new home in the Hollow Earth, whatever we're calling that, the Monarch facility that they made in the Hollow Earth with their weird little spaceships, has now disturbed this other monkey that's been there the whole time, and, you know, Kong's gonna get Godzilla's help, that's kind of cool. I wanted to go, because it's a teaser, and a teaser's not meant to give you the plot, a teaser's just basically meant to say, hey, you like Godzilla and Kong? We're doing it again. And it definitely did that. All the colors, all the neon blues and purples in this, kind of make me think of the last movie, but the last movie, it was the neon purples and blues and greens of the city that they were fighting, and this is very much, I'm going to scroll back just a little bit to come up with a better way of describing this, because I'm doing it terribly. It's that purple, green, blue melding of colors really faded into a red, because red makes you think danger, etc., etc., etc. Red makes you think this monkey that we're looking at is the bad guy, because the first couple of seconds, you know, you only see the silhouette, and you're like, okay, this is King Kong, so what are we doing? Where's Godzilla? Where's our lizard buddy? Etc., etc. But yeah, you realize very quickly he's got the long arms. He's, you know, orangutan is the right, with the big, like, exaggeratedly long arms. I'm horrible with actual factual stuff. That's why I stick to fiction, as you guys have probably figured out by now. But the moment of, oh, it's King Kong. Oh shit, no, it's not. And then you see the, like I say, the dinosaur-looking skull and the monkey-looking skull, and it's like, okay, have we flashed forward? I don't know, is the thing, and that's the whole purpose of a teaser. But I've gone to 3 different sources in the past day or so to give me some kind of idea. On the Legendary video itself, the description reads as follows. This is the latest entry in the MonsterVerse franchise, and it follows up on the explosive showdown between Godzilla and Kong with an all-new cinematic adventure pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, new, uncovered threat hidden below our world. There's that. I missed that the first time I read it through, so there you go. Challenging their very existence and our own, an epic new film will delve further into the history of these titans, their origins, and the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, while uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tied them to humankind forever. Now, that's everything and nothing, isn't it? Godzilla and Kong are going to fight again. Okay, well, as soon as you put them both in the movie, they're going to fight. They're going to fight against something else, which is kind of the conceit of the last movie. You know, Godzilla versus Kong wasn't. And that's the pitfall of every versus movie. Batman versus Superman. I really wanted to see Superman get his ass kicked, but, you know, it is what it is. And they eventually just ended up fighting Doomsday instead. The Avengers, you know, Iron Man versus Captain America. Really wanted to see Captain America get his ass kicked because he could use it. Let's be frank for a second. And it wasn't. Eventually it became them taking down Zemo and just sort of going their own ways. Godzilla versus Kong, very much the same way. They were fighting each other, but then they realized the real enemy was Mechagodzilla. The real enemy was humankind, once again, you know, fucking with nature and fucking with the natural order of things, which is the through line through all of these. So far, anyways. And they're going to come up against a new threat, and these two enemies are going to come together as friends. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and all that kind of thing. And to say that it could threaten them and all of mankind, well, anything that can threaten Godzilla and King Kong can threaten mankind. So they've said a lot without saying a lot. In the other movies, what we learn about the history of these animals is largely speculation from the human characters. That's the other thing. These movies, especially the Versus movies, they never really give you what you want. And subconsciously we know that as a movie-going audience, that when you see Godzilla versus Kong, you're never really going to see Godzilla versus Kong. You're going to see Godzilla and Kong, you know, in a monster way, work out their differences, work together, and face the actual threat, you know? It's like when the T-Rex takes out the Indominus in the first Jurassic World, that's what it was. And because the Indominus was an entirely man-made creation, and T-Rex, you know, it earned its spot at the top of the food chain. And then you see later on in one of the other movies, he's roaring up against a lion, you know, thinking that the lion's not going to be lunch. So it says a lot in that description from Legendary themselves, and the idea of sort of giving us everything and nothing is kind of the point. It ties very much in with it being a teaser trailer, because all the things that they told us are things we probably could have figured out. We're probably going to go back to Skull Island. Of course we are, because that's where King Kong came from. We're going to go underground, which I would have known if I had read it through properly instead of skimming it, because I'm an idiot. It's a new threat because it's a new movie. I don't know. it'll explain why we as humankind are tied to them forever. That's the interesting one for me. But again, I think that's where I get the feeling that at least at some point we are going to get a flashback of like rudimentary Cro-Magnon caveman interacting with the first of the Titans, and I'm all the way for that. I am all the way for that. But it's the kind of description you get from people that are trying to sell their movie. I don't know why I'm trying to find a more delicate way to say it. It's the type of description you would get from people that are trying to sell their movie. Hopping over to Polygon.com, they had a slightly different description, but it's basically the same. New Emperor is a sequel to 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong, but it will go in a slightly different direction than the previous movie, having the two giant monsters join force. Well, that's not really a different direction from the last movie, because that's ultimately what happened in the last movie. According to Legendary's picture description, the two will be forced to work together to battle a world-ending threat so terrifying that neither one of them could survive alone. The group is bigger than the sum of its parts. Awesome, 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 awesome. Also kind of obvious. Now, what gets my attention a little bit is a little snippet from I can't pronounce this at all. NightEdgeMedia.com. KNIGHTEDGEMEDIA.com. Night Edge Media. If you want to see what I'm looking at, that's where I'm looking at it from. This latest entry is a follow-up to the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong, with an all-new cinematic adventure pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal and undiscovered threat hidden under our world, challenging their very existence, ... and our own. I love when they do the little like thing at the end, and our own. Extra dramatic, even in written form. But what catches my attention from the Night Edge Media article is the title, because the title of that article is "The Son of King Kong is ready for war in Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire." So if this is the son of Kong, that's cool, because are we going to get an evolution of what King Kong is? You know, the young lion faces the old lion, etc., etc., etc. Now, this is all speculation. This is all nitpicky. Oh my God, what story are they doing? This is not at all giving us an idea that there's going to be any human interaction, which I'm sure there definitely will be once we get up to the surface. Now, what I'm going to say, I'm going to direct you back to why are we beeping? Why is this a thing? I'm going to direct you back to the podcast/video description of what you're listening to right now. Underneath the link for this trailer that we're talking about right now are links to my FlixFix reviews for Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. Not only myself, but my former co-host Kristen, aka Black Cat Feline. Shout out to her. Hope to get her back on sooner or later for something. Don't know how that's going to go. But all the links to all the reviews of the previous monster movies, Monsterverse movies, are there. We have a lot of fun with them. And like I said, we go over the themes of the movie. The themes of the movies, obviously, you know, don't fuck with nature, or nature's going to come back and bite you in the ass. When you've got a monster movie, it's very much the same way that I sell something like Walking Dead to people that have never seen Walking Dead. I don't really want to watch a zombie movie. It's not really about the zombies, it's about the people, and the people are 10 times worse. You know, sometimes human beings are the real monsters, if I want to be super cliche about it. But also, we kind of hit on the fact that through the 4 movies that we've had so far, don't bring kids into the mix, because kids are assholes. I'm just saying. No, in all seriousness, all of those are worth a watch. They're long, because as much as I love to ramble, if you get me on here with a co-host, I'm going to ramble twice as much. So, as I say, links in the box below for this trailer, for Godzilla, for Kong Skull Island, for Godzilla King of the Monsters, for Godzilla vs. Kong. They're there. There's YouTube links there. There's Spotify links there, however you want to listen to those. If you want to listen to those, I am really, really looking forward to this, because I really want to see 2 big, dumb animals slam into each other. And we haven't had it since 2021, so 3 years in the making. I mean, first one was 2014, and then we waited 3 years till 2017, and then we got one pretty much right away in 2019 and 21, and now they've given us a bigger gap once again. I don't know if if they're going to bring all the characters back, because we kind of, in the last one, we kind of smashed the two groups of human characters from the Kong movies, from the Godzilla movies, as you would. But again, the humans always kind of get in the way, don't they? And I don't mean get in the way in the sense of the ones that are interfering with the animals that cause them to come back and whatever, but I'm saying as a movie watcher, you're tuning into Godzilla versus Kong, and you're watching it because you want to see Godzilla versus Kong. You don't want to get, comments from the peanut gallery. You don't want to hear the spectators of Kong versus Godzilla, much like, as I say, I go back to me being a wrestling fan. I want to watch The Rock face Roman Reigns. I don't want to watch somebody else watch The Rock versus Roman Reigns. And that is the eternal struggle that we happily join into on movies like this, because we know that that's what we're going to get. That's the thing. Again, another good example would be the Underworld movies, where you had the vampires and the Lycans, and you want to see the vampires fight the Lycans, but those goddamn humans keep getting in the way. That's very much a thing. It's very much... it's a repetitive theme, but again, you go into there knowing what you're going to get, and if that's your jam that day, then you're going to... That was a really shit time for my camera to go out, because I'm almost done. Yeah, it's... lost my place now. That's fucking terrible. These movies, you know what you're going for. I know what I'm going for. I know what I'm going to roll my eyes at. I know what I'm going to chuckle at. I know what I'm going to love. I know that I'm going to stand. Listen to me. Listen to me. And for anybody out there that disagrees with me, you're wrong. See a movie like this, see it in IMAX. See it in the IMAX theater front row center, to the point where you're just barely losing the periphery on both sides, and you can feel like you're in the fucking movie, about to be stepped on by Godzilla, by Kong, by supposedly son of Kong. Don't take my word for it. Just go do it one time. Oh, but my neck's gonna hurt. Enjoy the fucking movie. I'm gonna love this. And as I was saying before I cut out there, in my last pod, I said about the Pope's Exorcist. Exorcist movies are a niche of a niche. If it's your thing, it's going to be exactly your thing. And I still say, I still very, very much recommend the Pope's Exorcist, because it's really good. But the same thing applies here. You've got action movies. Subsection of that is monster movies. Subsection of that is this particular monsterverse that Legendary has done a legendary job of creating. So if it's your thing, I'm predicting, if it's your thing, it's going to be right the fuck up your street. Now, the caveat to all this, and you'll hear this if you take the moment to go and listen to mine and Kristen's past movie reviews. 3 of them are just me and her, and the 4th one is me, her, and her boy Travis. I think I just got his name wrong, which makes me an asshole. They know way more about Godzilla lore and Godzilla history than I do. I go into these movies, and I've said this a lot. I have said this a lot to you guys, and I really want to drive it home so you know where I'm coming from. I go into these movies watching these movies. I go into DC movies watching those movies, and having not read any comics. I go into the MCU movies watching those movies, not having anything to do with reading the comics. Same thing with video games. Same thing with when I was younger and I first got into the Resident Evil movies. I never played a Resident Evil game in my life. Never seen a previous, well, I saw the one previous version of Godzilla before this version of Godzilla, and it was pretty friggin' hacky. I'm not gonna lie. It was basically a dinosaur movie in everything but name. But I am enjoying these as if they are brand spanking new, as if they are a brand new concept that just first came to life in 2014 with the first Godzilla movie of this franchise. So if you don't agree with my assessment so far, if you don't agree with my excitement, if you don't agree with my opinions on the previous movies because of XYZ, your experience with the lore, your experience with these properties before these movies, please understand that I'm coming at it from those perspectives. Please understand that once again, I'm going to say it one more time and repeat myself. I am just looking to go to the movies and watch 2 big monsters run at each other. And anything else that happens around that is sort of superfluous. Gonna be a lot of fun. Gonna be ridiculous. Probably gonna come up and do a review. Maybe with a co-host, maybe not, but we'll see how life treats us. I'm super excited, and this is how excited I am after a 30-second teaser trailer. Legendary. Well done. I've been Spaz. This is FLIX. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later. For right now, I am typing